The Gilded Age has never felt this tense. Episode 6 left the world of New York's richest families on fire. Secrets were exposed, loyalties were tested, and the battle between old money and new money grew sharper than ever. Every glance, every whisper, every betrayal was a step closer to the kind of social war that could ruin entire households. Episode 6 of The Gilded Age Season 3 was a turning point. From the very first scene, the mood was heavy with tension, though every character knew that change was coming, but no one was prepared for the cost. The story opened with the Russells pushing further into New York society. Bertha Russell, as always, was determined to prove her place among the elite. Her grand dinner parties and bold gestures were not just displays of wealth. They were weapons in her ongoing battle against the Astors and the guardians of old money traditions. But behind all the glittering chandeliers and fine gowns, the cracks in the foundation were showing. George Russell faced his own battles in the world of industry. A business deal that promised power and influence suddenly turned risky, and whispers in private clubs hinted that rivals were plotting his downfall. George carried himself with calm confidence, yet the look in his eyes revealed the storm building inside him. The combination of financial risk and social challenges put the Russells at a dangerous crossroads. Meanwhile, Marian Brooks' journey continued to evolve in surprising ways. She found herself caught between the rules of polite society and the call of her own independence. In episode 6, her quiet defiance spoke louder than words. Whether she was refusing to bow to expectations or daring to follow her own heart, Marian showed that she was no longer the uncertain young woman introduced in Season 1. The conversations she had in this episode revealed both courage and vulnerability, and audiences could feel that her choices would soon shake the delicate balance of her world. Another highlight was the return of Agnes Van Ryn's sharp tongue and commanding presence. Agnes once again reminded everyone that the old guard would not give up their position easily. Her cutting remarks at social gatherings carried more than humor. They were warnings. She saw Bertha as both a threat and a challenger, and Agnes's attempts to put her in her place only fueled the growing fire between the old and the new. Episode 6 showed clearly that Agnes's influence was still powerful, but for the first time she seemed aware that her hold on society might be slipping. The most shocking moments came during the quieter, more personal scenes. Secrets surfaced that could destroy reputations, and friendships once thought unbreakable began to bend under pressure. In one storyline, betrayal took center stage as a trusted ally revealed divided loyalties. In another, whispered gossip turned into a weapon that left characters questioning who they could trust. These were not just passing dramas. They were the seeds of conflicts that will bloom in Episode 7 and beyond. By the end of Episode 6, it was clear that every character stood at the edge of a decision. The Russells, the Van Ryns, the Brooks, and the wider circle of New York's elite all had more to lose than ever. The final moments of the episode carried an unspoken message. The battles of wealth, love, and power were no longer simmering. They were ready to explode. The trailer for Episode 7 dropped like a spark in dry wood, and fans immediately felt the tension. Every frame was loaded with hints of what is to come. The world of the Gilded Age has always been filled with whispers and rivalries. But this time the storm is no longer on the horizon. It is right at the doorstep. The first striking image in the trailer showed Bertha Russell standing in a grand hall, her eyes locked on a room full of society's most powerful figures. She looked confident, but the trailer made it clear that her confidence was being tested. The way she stood, the pause before she moved, suggested that she was about to challenge tradition in a way that would shock everyone. Bertha has always fought for recognition, but Episode 7 promises to show her either claiming her crown or risking everything she has built. The trailer then shifted quickly to George Russell. His face carried the weight of decisions that could either strengthen his empire or tear it apart. A sharp exchange of words in the trailer hinted that business rivals were circling, waiting for a mistake. The camera lingered on his expression just long enough for viewers to wonder if George himself might be hiding something. The tension in that moment spoke volumes. Another powerful shot revealed Marian. She was walking through the streets of New York, her head high, Yet her steps slowed as though she was torn between two paths. The trailer gave nothing away directly, but the sense of choice was strong. Would she follow her heart or bend to the demands of society? The framing of her scenes suggested that episode 7 will force her to decide what kind of future she truly wants, and the consequences could affect not only her, but everyone around her. The most chilling part of the trailer was not a confrontation or a loud scandal, but a hushed conversation in a dimly lit room. A voice whispered lines that hinted at betrayal, and the camera cut to a character looking over their shoulder, fearful of being discovered. That single moment of silence carried more suspense than any outburst could, and it confirmed that episode 7 will be filled with secrets finally slipping out into the open. Costume and setting also played a major role in the trailer's mood. The bright colors of ballrooms contrasted with shadows in corridors, suggesting that public triumphs will be followed by private battles. Every silk gown and polished shoe masked the hidden war beneath. This duality reminded viewers that the Gilded Age is not only about luxury, it is about survival in a world where one mistake can cost you everything. The trailer ended on a powerful note, with doors being thrown open and characters stepping into a gathering that felt more like a battlefield than a social event. The look on Bertha's face was fearless, while Agnes's cold stare suggested that war lines had been drawn. The final seconds cut abruptly to black, leaving audiences with one haunting question: who will win this round of New York's never-ending struggle for power? Episode 7 is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic chapters of the season, and the trailer alone has already sparked countless theories among fans. The Gilded Age thrives on hidden motives, sharp rivalries, and the struggle between tradition and ambition, and the clues we have suggest that the next episode could push every character to their breaking point. One of the strongest theories centers around Bertha Russell. She has spent every season climbing higher and higher in society, fighting for a place at the very top. But the trailer showed her stepping into a confrontation that looked different from anything before. Some fans believe this could be the episode where Bertha risks it all on a single bold move, perhaps challenging Mrs. Astor directly. If that theory proves true, the fallout could change the entire balance of power in New York. Either Bertha rises to a throne she has long chased, or she risks being cast aside by the very people she seeks to impress. George Russell also seems destined for a major turning point. His silent stares in the trailer and the mention of business threats suggest that episode 7 could force him into a dangerous decision. One prediction is that George may sacrifice alliances to protect his empire, even if it means angering friends and exposing his family to scandal. The stakes in the business world are higher than ever, and George is known for being ruthless when cornered. The question is not if he will strike back, but how devastating the blow will be when he does. Marian Brooks' path is another mystery that has fans debating. The trailer showed her walking alone, her expression full of conflict. Many believe this episode could finally reveal whether Marian chooses love or security, independence or tradition. Some theories suggest she may defy expectations entirely and take control of her own life in a way no one saw coming. Such a choice would shock the social circle around her, and it could also put her at odds with the very family that raised her. Perhaps the most intriguing prediction revolves around betrayal. Episode 6 ended with whispers and secrets, and the trailer for episode 7 seemed to confirm that at least one trusted character will turn against those closest to them. Theories range from a friend leaking information to rivals to a family member acting out of jealousy or fear. The quiet conversation shown in the trailer hinted at a betrayal so deep that it could shatter relationships and alter the direction of the season. Viewers are bracing for a reveal that may leave them questioning every loyalty they once believed in. And finally, there is the looming clash between the old guard and the new. Agnes Van Ryn and Bertha Russell have been circling one another for too long, and episode 7 might be the moment their rivalry explodes into the open. If Agnes delivers one of her cutting public remarks, and Bertha refuses to yield, the result could be the social battle of the season. Whichever way it goes, fans can feel certain that episode 7 will not end quietly. It will set the stage for consequences that ripple far beyond the ballroom. Episode 7 is already shaping up to be one of the most dramatic moments of the season, but part of the fun is hearing what you think. The Gilded Age has always been about more than costumes and grand houses. It is about ambition, betrayal, and choices that ripple through every corner of New York society. So now it is your turn to weigh in. Do you believe Bertha will finally break through the walls of the old guard and claim her place at the very top? Or will her ambition lead to a downfall that nobody expected? Do you think George will sacrifice everything to protect his empire, or will a hidden weakness finally catch up with him? And what about Marian? Will she take the safe path of tradition, or will she defy expectations and create a future that belongs only to her? These are the questions Episode 7 will push to the surface, and your theories matter. Share them in the comments, and let us know what moments from Episode 6 stood out the most for you. Was it a look, a whispered line, or a dramatic reveal that left you replaying the scene in your head? Every fan sees something different, and together those details paint the full picture of what makes this series so powerful. If this breakdown and trailer analysis helped you see the story in a new way, make sure to join us for the next review. We will be covering Episode 7 in full detail as soon as it airs, and you will not want to miss the twists and revelations that are sure to come. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the analysis, subscribe so you do not miss the next update, and share this video with others who love The Gilded Age as much as you do. The Gilded Age is more than a show. It is a living portrait of ambition and rivalry, of love and betrayal, of people who will risk everything to stand in the light of society. Episode 7 promises to push these battles further than ever before, and together we will watch as fortunes rise, reputations fall, and choices rewrite the future of every character we follow. So stay tuned, because the story is far from over. Episode 7 is coming and the ballroom doors are about to open. The question is, who will step out victorious, and who will be left behind in the shadows? The world of the Gilded Age may feel distant with its gilded halls, grand gowns, and whispered politics, but the emotions it carries are timeless. Ambition, loyalty, betrayal, and love. These are struggles that echo across every era, and that is why this story keeps us hooked. Episode 7 is not only about who wins or loses in the battle of New York society, it is about how far people are willing to go when everything they value is on the line. For Bertha Russell, the stakes are not only about status, they are about proving that determination can carve a place even in a world built to shut her out. For George, the question is whether strength in business will protect his family, or if the very empire he built will place them in danger. Marian's choices remind us that the hardest battles are often not fought in ballrooms but inside the heart, where courage must face tradition. And for Agnes and the defenders of old money, the fear of change is as powerful as any enemy. This is why Episode 7 feels like more than just another chapter. It feels like a crossroads where every decision carries a weight that cannot be undone. Each alliance formed, each betrayal revealed, and each dream pursued will ripple into futures none of these characters can control. And that is what makes the coming episode so thrilling. The sense that everything is fragile, and one small move could shatter the world they know. As viewers, we stand just outside the ballroom doors waiting for them to open. We wonder whose face will be lit with triumph and whose reputation will be crushed in whispers by the end of the night. That uncertainty is what makes The Gilded Age more than a period drama. It makes it a story of survival and transformation, one that mirrors our own fears and hopes in a different time and place. Now I want to hear from you. Which character do you believe will rise when those doors open, and who do you think will fall? Do you see Bertha outsmarting her rivals, or do you see Marian breaking free from the chains of expectation? Share your thoughts, share your predictions, and let your voice become part of the conversation. Because this story is not only about them, it is also about us, the audience who witnesses, questions, and feels every twist and turn. Before you leave, make sure you subscribe for the full Episode 7 breakdown once it airs. Like this video if you enjoyed the deep dive, and share it with others who love exploring the hidden layers of the Gilded Age. Together, we will keep following every secret, every rivalry, and every triumph until the very last curtain falls. The ballroom is waiting, the stage is set, and Episode 7 is almost here. Prepare yourself, because the gilded world is about to show its darkest truths. What makes the Gilded Age so powerful is not only the story on the surface, but also the hidden messages tucked inside every scene. Episode 6 gave us more than drama. It gave us symbols, choices, and silent battles that reveal where the characters are truly heading. Episode 7 promises to expand those layers, and understanding them makes the trailer even more gripping. Take Bertha Russell, for example. Her story is about more than ambition. Every gesture, every carefully planned event is a challenge to the walls of society. In Episode 6, her insistence on recognition was not only a social maneuver, it was a statement that wealth without respect is nothing. The trailer for Episode 7 doubles down on that theme, showing her in a hall full of doubters, standing as if she were both queen and outsider. The meaning is clear. Bertha is not simply chasing status. She is forcing the elite to confront change, and the outcome could redefine the future of New York society. George Russell's story also carried hidden weight. The brief glimpses we saw of him suggested a man caught between power and responsibility. Business for George is not just profit. It is survival, reputation, and legacy. When rivals circle him, they are not only threatening his wealth, they are threatening the foundation of his entire family. Episode 7 may reveal how far George is willing to go to protect what he built, and that question alone adds tension to every glance and every deal. Marian Brooks' quiet journey remains just as layered. In Episode 6, she showed defiance in small, but powerful ways, resisting the invisible chains of tradition. The trailer framed her in movement, walking forward yet uncertain, symbolizing the choice that now lies ahead. Will she surrender to society's rules, or will she shape her own future? This conflict is not only Marian's story, it reflects the tension of an entire generation caught between duty and desire. Even Agnes Van Ryn, with her sharp words and commanding presence, represents more than pride. She embodies the fear of an old world collapsing. Her disdain for Bertha is not just about social competition, it is about clinging to a fading identity. Every remark she makes is a shield against change, but Episode 7 may prove that even her iron grip cannot hold back the tide forever. And then there are the unspoken betrayals hinted at in the trailer. A whispered line, a suspicious glance, a sudden cut to darkness. These are clues that someone close to the main families may soon reveal divided loyalty. The hidden meaning here is that in a world built on appearances, the most dangerous strikes do not come from enemies in plain sight, but from those seated at the same table. When we look at the Gilded Age through these hidden meanings, the story becomes more than rivalry. It becomes a mirror of human ambition, love, and fear. Episode 7 is not just about what happens. It is about why it happens and what it reveals about the people behind the polished masks. The stage is set, the players are ready, and the world of the Gilded Age is standing at the edge of change. Episode 7 is not just another installment. It feels like the moment when all the whispers, rivalries, and hidden ambitions finally collide in the open. Every choice made so far has led to this turning point, and the weight of those choices is about to fall on every character we follow. Bertha has built her rise on boldness, and now the question is whether that boldness will carry her into glory or drag her into ruin. George has balanced empire and family with calm strength, but the storm gathering around him may be too fierce to ignore. Marian has walked the thin line between freedom and expectation, yet Episode 7 may force her to step firmly onto one path and abandon the other. Agnes has defended tradition with every sharp word and icy stare, but tradition itself may finally crack under the pressure of change. This is what makes the coming episode so thrilling. The Gilded Age is not only about the splendor of chandeliers or the beauty of gowns, it is about the fragility of power and the cost of ambition. Every smile in a ballroom hides a secret, every dance hides a rivalry, every toast hides a betrayal waiting to be revealed. So as we wait for Episode 7 to arrive, one truth stands above all others. The glittering surface of New York society is breaking, and what lies beneath will shake every name, every family, and every dream. The doors will open, the music will play, but the question is not who will attend. The question is, Who will still be standing when the night is over? And that is where we leave it. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe so you do not miss the full breakdown of Episode 7 once it airs. Hit the like button if you love exploring the hidden drama of the Gilded Age, and share your predictions in the comments. Together, we will uncover every secret, every rivalry, and every triumph until the final curtain falls. Episode 7 is almost here, and the Gilded world is ready to reveal its darkest truths.